We learned late today that Bill and Melinda Gates are ending their 27-year marriage. Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, the couple, two of the richest people in the world.
It was not just one thing. Rather, it was a number of things. Having meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, on the other hand, was something that I did not like. He embodied the devil in every way. Following that, I had recurring nightmares about it. Many of us were taken aback when Melinda Gates and Bill Gates made the announcement that they were going to divorce after 27 years of marriage between them in May of 2021. It appeared as though their journey was flawless, beginning with their first awkward date and culminating in them becoming one of the most influential philanthropic couples, until it stopped being the case. Despite the fact that the breakup came as a shock to everyone, Melinda has recently revealed the more profound reasons that led to their decision to part ways. Above and beyond the statements made in public and the coverage in the media, there is more to this story than we initially knew. Now, what exactly was the cause of the dissolution of their marriage? Melinda has finally revealed the truth that we have all been waiting for, and she has done so in an open and honest confession. We invite you to join us as we investigate her side of the story and the real events that transpired. Nevertheless, for the purpose of this, let's begin with the beginning of their relationship, a gathering that brought about dramatic changes. In 1987, when Melinda French was just beginning her career at Microsoft as a product manager, she was introduced to Bill Gates for the first time. New York City was the location of their initial meeting, which took place during a sales meeting. In spite of the fact that the majority of us might have the impression that a relationship between a CEO and an employee might have begun in a grand manner, theirs did not. When Bill made his initial attempt to ask her out, it was a rather awkward gesture. It was in a parking lot that he approached her and asked her in a casual manner if she would be interested in going on a date 2 weeks from that day. As was to be expected, Melinda did not accept the request because she considered it to be anything but spontaneous. In an interview that took place in 2015, she recalled that he had said, "You know, I was thinking maybe we could go out 2 weeks from tonight." In response, she appeared amused but unimpressed and asked, "2 weeks from tonight? The next 2 weeks from tonight, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing." She went on to make jokes, saying things like, "You aren't sufficiently spontaneous for me." On the other hand, Bill, who is well known for his doggedness in the business world, was not yet prepared to give up. Shortly after an hour had passed, he called her once more, this time inquiring, "Is this kind of spontaneity sufficient for you?" Melinda, who was appreciative of his efforts, ultimately consented. This insignificant act marked the beginning of a relationship that would eventually develop into a marriage that would last for 27 years and be full of both personal and professional ups and downs. Putting together a life together, Bill made his proposal to Melinda in 1993 after they had been dating for 6 years. For many years, Melinda wrote an essay in which she provided a glimpse of their celebration, despite the fact that they had kept the details of their engagement a secret. They went to Africa on a trip that would have a significant impact on their future, one that would be more significant than they could have ever imagined. During this trip, the couple had a conversation that would change their lives that took place while they were walking on a beach in Zanzibar. They discussed how they wanted to use their wealth for the betterment of society. For Melinda, this trip was not only a romantic getaway, but also an experience that opened her eyes to new things. Due to the fact that it was her first experience with extreme poverty, the two of them made a commitment to find ways to assist those who are in need. The two of them had no idea that the conversation they were having on a peaceful beach would eventually result in the establishment of one of the most influential charitable organizations in the entire world. During the following year, on January 1st, 1994, Bill and Melinda tied the knot in Hawaii in a ceremony that was both extravagant and privately attended. The wedding was kept a closely guarded secret, and the couple made sure to protect their privacy by renting out the entire hotel where the ceremony took place, and even booking all of the helicopters. This was done in order to avoid any unwanted attention. They started their journey as a married couple while they were surrounded by 130 of their closest friends and family members. The couple welcomed their first child, Jennifer Catherine Gates, in April of 1996, just a couple of years after the beginning of their relationship. Not long after that, Melinda made the decision that would forever alter her life. She quit her job at Microsoft and became a stay-at-home mother, an action that even Bill was taken aback by. In an interview that took place in 2017, Melinda admitted that he was definitely surprised. She also mentioned that she desired to raise their children on her own, without the assistance of nannies or other individuals. This decision reflected the values that she and Bill wanted to instill in their children over the course of their lives. In 1998, Bill and Melinda began to channel their enormous wealth into philanthropy, which marked the beginning of their journey into global charitable work. They also began to grow their family together during this time. They made the announcement of a massive investment of $100 million in vaccines for children living in developing countries. The couple's focus shifted from their family and the success of their business to assisting those who were in the greatest need of assistance at this particular moment, which marked a turning point for them. It was in the same year that they became parents for the second time, to Rory. After some time had passed, Melinda wrote that Rory is compassionate and curious. She also proudly mentioned that he had developed a strong sense of equality, and she referred to him as a feminist at heart. By the year 2000, the culmination of their efforts to give back was the establishment of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and its subsequent work. Through the consolidation of their earlier charitable endeavors, they established a massive organization that would go on to address some of the most pressing problems in the world, such as poverty, education, and health. Over the course of an interview, Melinda elaborated on the significance of their collaboration in the management of the foundation. Her statement was that it is without a doubt a partnership of equals. The fact that the world is aware that we are leading this establishment together is something that is very important to both of us. These are the values that we share and how they are being acted out in the world. During the time that the couple was expanding their family, they were also actively participating in charitable activities on a global scale. In the year 2002, they became parents for the third time, and Phoebe was born into the world. Melinda later reflected on Phoebe's 13th birthday, describing her as intelligent, playful, thoughtful, and compassionate. She also shared her hopes that Phoebe would grow up in a world where women had equal opportunities. Phoebe was 13 years old at the time. It was important for the Gates family to maintain a healthy balance between their personal lives and their expanding influence on the international stage. Time magazine honored Bill and Melinda, along with Bono of U2, as Persons of the Year in 2005. This honor was bestowed upon them in recognition of the significant contributions they have made to the fields of global education and health. In the same year, Melinda was there to show her support for Bill as he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in recognition of his tireless work in the charitable sector. The year 2015 marked the beginning of Melinda's philanthropic endeavors, which she expanded upon by establishing Pivotal Ventures, an organization whose primary mission is to promote gender equality in professional settings. Her commitment to empowering women and girls all over the world is highlighted by the fact that she has pledged $1 billion to promote this cause. Over the course of the following year, in 2016, both Bill and Melinda were honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor that can be bestowed in the United States, in recognition of the efforts that they have made to make the world a better place. This moment cemented their position as a formidable team, working together to establish a legacy that will endure for generations to come. However, behind the scenes, their relationship was not even close to being ideal. In spite of the fact that the world witnessed a unified front, very few people could have predicted that their marriage was on the verge of breaking down, addressing both personal and philanthropic challenges simultaneously. In April of 2017, Bill and Melinda Gates were honored once more for their involvement in charitable work. This time, they were presented with the prestigious French Legion of Honor designation. They had made a significant impact through their foundation, and this was a testament to that impact. In addition to the widespread recognition they received for their commitment to charitable work, this award served as yet another reminder of the influence they wielded all over the world. Despite the fact that they were frequently regarded as a power couple who were committed to finding solutions to some of the most pressing problems in the world, their lives were not solely focused on their professional endeavors. Bill and Melinda recently gave an interview to People magazine in 2018, during which they discussed the ways in which they spent their free time together. It was discovered that, similar to a great number of us, they enjoyed unwinding with puzzles and television shows. Bill mentioned that they had recently finished watching Downton Abbey and that they enjoyed doing jigsaw puzzles. He also mentioned that they love watching television series. Melinda chimed in and disclosed that they were watching This Is Us at the time, but she acknowledged that the show had the potential to be physically and emotionally taxing. In some cases, they were even required to take breaks due to the intensity of the episodes that they were experiencing. In addition to the fact that they had similar interests, they discussed the accomplishments they had achieved together in the management of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Melinda gave an account of how they encouraged and supported one another, stating, "We are the leaders of this organization together. The way we think helps each other tremendously." At least on the surface, it was evident that their professional relationship was as robust as it had ever been, or even stronger. During the year 2019, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary, which seemed to be another exciting milestone in their long-term relationship. Melinda commemorated the event by updating her Instagram account with a tribute that was both humorous and heartfelt. During their wedding ceremony in 1994, she recalled a humorous incident that occurred on that day. She recalled how Bill had attempted to determine the size of each slice of their wedding cake, only to find out that the cake had a cardboard center. It was a moment that resulted in her laughing so hard that she was unable to speak, and she fondly reflected on how her heart had become full in the 25 years that had passed since that time. On the other hand, despite the fact that they appeared to be perfectly content in public, their relationship was not devoid of difficulties. During the course of the documentary series Inside Bill's Brain, Decoding Bill Gates, which was released on Netflix in 2019, both Bill and Melinda admitted that they had initially not anticipated that their relationship would develop into a serious one. Bill revealed that she was dating other men at the time of our first encounter, while I was working for Microsoft. Melinda went on to say that the fact that she was a new employee at Microsoft and one of the few women working in an environment that was dominated by men made things even more complicated. As the year 2020 approached and the pandemic began to spread, Bill and Melinda found themselves once again the focus of public attention for their charitable endeavors. A donation of $125 million was made by their foundation in March, in collaboration with MasterCard and Welcome, with the intention of accelerating the development of treatments for the pandemic. This announcement made headlines. As part of their contribution to the fight against the pandemic, Bill disclosed approximately 1 month later that they were providing financial support for the establishment of 7 vaccine factories. The cracks in their personal life were becoming more apparent behind the scenes, despite the fact that they continued to be successful in their professional endeavors. It was an unexpected breakup. Having been married for 27 years, the couple shocked the world on May 3, 2021, when they announced that they were finalizing their divorce. Bill and Melinda explained their decision to end their marriage in a joint statement that was posted on Twitter. They explained that they had given it a lot of thought before making their decision. It was emphasized in the statement that despite the fact that they had brought up 3 wonderful children and established a prosperous foundation together, they no longer believed that they could develop as a couple. The public was given the assurance that they would continue to collaborate at the foundation. However, they requested privacy as they began to navigate their new lives. The divorce was finalized in August of 2021, just 3 months after it was initially filed. According to the documents that People was able to obtain, Melinda made the decision to not change her name, and neither party asked for spousal support. Many people were taken aback by the speed with which the divorce was finalized, being only 3 months after the couple made their announcement to the public. A marriage that had lasted for almost 3 decades came to an abrupt and peaceful conclusion. Towards the end of that year, Bill did not hesitate to discuss the challenges he encountered in the aftermath of the divorce. During the month of December 2021, he wrote a blog post entitled, "I can't deny that it's been a year of great personal sadness for me." In this post, he detailed the difficulties that he had encountered on a personal level throughout the course of the year. On the other hand, he also expressed his gratitude to his children for their support and praised them for their ability to persevere through the difficult time. In spite of the fact that their divorce marked the conclusion of a chapter in their lives, the fact that they chose to continue working together for the greater good demonstrated that their dedication to charitable giving remained unshaken until relatively recently. Melinda recently disclosed that despite the fact that they had created a life that had an impact on millions of people all over the world, their seemingly perfect union was certainly not without its challenges, which ultimately resulted in the dissolution of their 27-year marriage. Melinda Gates discusses the anguish that comes with going through a divorce. It was during an interview with Gayle King of CBS Morning in March 2022 that Melinda Gates finally broke her silence regarding her divorce from Bill Gates. As a result of the fact that the entire world had been waiting to hear her side of the story, Melinda did not hold back in this open and honest conversation. It was acknowledged by her that although she and Bill continued to have a professional relationship, they were not yet considered to be friends. She revealed that at this point we are friendly, but she also mentioned that becoming friends was something that could take place over the course of time. Melinda's journey towards recovery was not yet complete at this point. Additionally, she disclosed the emotional turmoil that she went through while she was in the process of deciding to divide from her partner. For her, it was not an easy task. She admitted that she had shed a great deal of tears over the course of several days, and that she frequently found herself wondering how she would proceed. How could this possibly be the case? What are the steps to getting up? Those were some of the thoughts that went through her head during those trying times. Another thing that she disclosed was that in addition to the sadness, there was a great deal of anger. When she was describing the emotional roller coaster that she had to go through, she said, "I mean, this is painful stuff." Melinda revealed that she was beginning to recover from the difficulties she had been experiencing, and that she was cautiously optimistic about the future. Upon being questioned about the possibility of dating once more, she did not avoid the subject. In addition to expressing her hope that she would be able to find love once more, she confirmed that she had already begun to experiment with that water. Through her willingness to be vulnerable and share the highs and lows of her healing process, Melinda provided a glimpse into the emotional weight that comes with a breakup that is so widely publicized. With that being said, what did Bill Gates have to say about the matter? In this reflection, Bill Gates reflects on the end of their wonderful marriage. A few months later, in May 2022, Bill Gates gave an interview to the Sunday Times in which he talked about his own thoughts and feelings regarding the couple's divorce. Bill thought back on their lengthy relationship, which originated when he was 38 years old and Melinda was 28 years old. He discussed the fact that they had essentially grown up together, gaining a great deal of knowledge and experience during the years that they spent together as a couple. During the course of their marriage, which lasted for more than half of his adult life, he revealed that they had known each other since childhood. Bill referred to their relationship as wonderful and admitted that despite the fact that they had gone through a lot of changes, he still felt fortunate that a portion of their connection remained through the work that they did on the foundation. In my opinion, it was a wonderful thing to be married to someone. His response was that he would not have altered it. Bill's words demonstrated that despite the fact that their romantic relationship had come to an end, he continued to honor the significance of the life that they had constructed together. In addition to this, he acknowledged that transitions are inevitable in every marriage, particularly when children leave the home. Due to unfortunate circumstances, he and Melinda's transition was the end of their marriage. When Bill and Melinda Gates got back together at the Goalkeepers event hosted by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in September 2022, they demonstrated to the world that they are dedicated to maintaining their professional relationship. Both individuals made appearances at the event, posed for photographs with prominent figures from around the world, and delivered separate discourses. The fact that their board of trustees had witnessed their dedication to working together, despite the personal changes that had occurred in their lives, was something that Melinda even mentioned to Bloomberg. Her emphasis was on the fact that Bill and Melinda continue to be fully committed to this organization, which demonstrated that their dedication to charitable giving was stronger than it had ever been, despite the fact that their personal lives had diverged. Melinda Gates has disclosed the genuine motivating factors that led to her divorce. Within the month of March 2022, Melinda French Gates disclosed fresh information regarding the reasons that led to her separation from Bill Gates. Her discomfort with Bill's association with the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein was one of the most shocking revelations that she made. During an interview with Gayle King on CBS This Morning, Melinda explained that the circumstances that led to the dissolution of their 27-year marriage were not a single factor, but rather a combination of a number of factors. These factors included Bill's meetings with Epstein, among other things. Her disapproval of the action was made abundantly clear to him by her actions. The fact that he frequently met with Jeffrey Epstein was not something that I liked. Melinda stated that she brought that to his attention. Melinda revealed that she had only ever met Epstein once, and that she had done so in order to determine for herself who he was. Almost immediately, she expressed her regret, describing him as repulsive and evil personified. Her thoughts and prayers were with the women who had endured pain as a result of Epstein. After some time had passed, Bill acknowledged that his meetings with Epstein were a significant error in judgment and expressed his profound regret for those meetings. Bill's previous affair with a member of the Microsoft staff was another significant factor that contributed to their breakup. Even though the affair took place 20 years ago, it was brought up again during the time that they were apart. As someone who was a firm believer in the concept of forgiveness, Melinda believed that they had resolved that aspect of their relationship. In spite of this, she eventually came to the conclusion that their marriage was no longer in a healthy state. She explained that there was a point in time when there was enough there that I realized it was just not healthy and that I couldn't trust what we had. This realization came along at a certain point in time. When Melinda was asked if there were any other affairs, she responded by saying that Bill is the one who needs to answer those questions. The decision that Melinda made to divorce her husband was not one that she made lightly. Her admission was that she had never imagined that she would end up getting divorced. However, after exhausting all of her options in an attempt to make it work, she realized that she needed to go in a different direction. I was committed to this marriage from the moment we became engaged until the moment I moved out of it, she said. I was committed to this marriage. To this day, she continues to affirm, I gave every single piece of myself to this marriage, despite the fact that the decision she made carries a significant amount of emotional weight. At the time of the divorce, Melinda was going through a difficult time that was filled with strong feelings. She recalled times when she was so overcome with emotion that she found herself lying on the ground, unable to comprehend how her life had taken such a dramatic change. The loss of a relationship that she believed would last a lifetime was something that she was mourning, and she described it as a part of the grieving process. Another aspect of the healing process that Melinda disclosed was the fact that she experienced anger during this period of time. She and Bill are not exactly friends, despite the fact that they are now on friendly terms with one another. Even though there is still a lot of healing to be done, she hopes that he is not hurt. In spite of the discomfort, Melinda has the impression that she is beginning a new chapter in her life. In her statement, she expressed optimism regarding the future and expressed excitement about what lies ahead for her in 2022 and beyond, including dealing with the aftermath and moving forward. During the month of October 2022, Melinda gave an interview to Fortune magazine in which she discussed the arduous process of overcoming the divorce. It was her own personal circumstances that led her to the conclusion that she could no longer remain in the marriage agreement. On the other hand, she acknowledged the pandemic, which provided her with the degree of privacy she required in order to deal with the situation. Her words revealed that it is unbelievably painful in a multitude of different ways. She was thankful, however, that the pandemic gave her the opportunity to work through the emotional weight of the breakup before she passed away. During the time of the divorce, her primary concern was to ensure the safety of her children. In her role as a mother, Melinda placed a high priority on protecting her children from the chaos, and she expressed her relief that they had survived the most difficult part of the situation. Despite the difficulties that they had encountered as a family, she had a positive outlook on the situation, saying that they had made it to the other side. During the month of December in the year 2022, Bill also disclosed the fact that the previous few years had been challenging for him. Through the blog post he wrote at the end of the year on Gates Notes, he reflected on the personal struggles he had been through throughout the year, including the passing of his father and the dissolution of his marriage. In his letter, he stated, "I cannot deny that this past year has been a year of great personal sadness for me. Despite the fact that his wealth made life more comfortable, Bill acknowledged that the things that brought him the most value were his family, his friends, and the work that he did." As a glimpse into how he was coping with the aftermath of the divorce, he stated, "For that, I need family, friends, and a job where I work on things that matter." This statement provided a glimpse into how he was finding comfort and purpose in his life. As the year 2023 approached, the exes in question continued to move forward with their lives. The fact that Bill had started dating Paula Hurd, the widow of Oracle's former CEO, Mark Hurd, was confirmed by a number of individuals in the month of February. According to a source close to Bill, Paula had not yet met his children when they were dating. This information was provided by the source. When Bill was asked about the possibility of another relationship, he responded with a lighthearted, "Sure, I'm not a robot." This was in response to the fact that he had previously revealed in an interview that he was open to the possibility of finding love again. Bill and Melinda have demonstrated their unwavering commitment to their children, despite the significant changes that have occurred in different aspects of their personal lives. In September of 2023, the couple got back together once more to celebrate the 21st birthday of their youngest daughter Phoebe in New York City to celebrate the occasion. On the occasion of Phoebe's birthday, both Bill and Melinda posted heartfelt birthday messages on Instagram. Bill referred to Phoebe as his little girl and expressed his pride in seeing her achieve great things. Despite the fact that their marriage has ended, Bill and Melinda continue to be devoted parents who are there for their children as they navigate life after the divorce. Melinda Gates recently announced her decision to step down as co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, effective June 7, 2024. In a heartfelt Instagram post, she explained the decision came after much reflection, expressing pride in the foundation's accomplishments and her commitment to its mission. While stepping away from the foundation, Melinda pledged $12.5 billion to support initiatives focused on women and families. Bill Gates publicly praised Melinda's contributions, particularly in advancing gender equality and global health, expressing confidence in her continued impact. Following her departure, Melinda committed an additional $1 billion to women's rights in the U.S., signaling her dedication to advocacy and philanthropy. In an interview with Time, Melinda reflected on her life post-divorce, revealing the challenges of separation, but also the joy and freedom she has found. She admitted the divorce was one of the most emotionally taxing periods of her life, but she relied on therapy, faith, and close friends to navigate the pain. Melinda cited a lack of trust as the key reason for the breakup, noting her initial hope for a lifelong partnership. Now embracing new beginnings, Melinda is focused on empowering women and embracing her autonomy. As she steps into this new chapter, she remains committed to making a meaningful impact, finding beauty and resilience in the journey ahead. In your opinion, what are the necessary steps to take in order to truly recover from a divorce and discover a new sense of purpose in life, particularly after such a lengthy marriage? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories.